All right, Bang Bang. Today is Monday, November 18th. Chicago Dog Walk. Guest of the day is, of course, Carl. Carl, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing well. Also, we have Liam on the phone. Liam is currently in Australia. He is a student studying the rainforest and the Great Barrier Reef. He came on to talk a little cassowaries, where we're circling back on 2 weeks ago. So, Liam, how you doing?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Carl.
I'm great. I'm very excited to get into the show. I know that we have certainly a lot of questions for Liam. I also like the fact that Liam kind of came to us. He said, "Hey, I want to clear up some of the conversation around the animals, the cassowaries, a lot of stuff going down south. Let's talk about it."
Yeah. So, but before we do get to any of that, I do want to talk about Yamaha. Obviously, we know they make pianos and motorcycles, but did you know they also make audio and visual conferencing technology, Carl?
The clearest audio and video conferencing technology on the market.
Because you've been kind of in like a conference call, you know what it's like in like the business world, and we've been using this thing for a while now. It's pretty great.
I cut my teeth. I earned my stripes in corporate America. I've been on so many conference calls. I am fortunate to have forgotten a lot of them. I'm mad that when I was in corporate America, I didn't have the Yamaha set up because it's so much fucking easy. There's nothing worse than being on the bad end of a conference call. You can hardly hear someone. You don't even want to be there. Are you on mute? You're not on mute. What are you doing? Hang up.
Yeah, we're not BSing. It's really a great product. And you can check out all their products at uc.yamaha.com/barstool. Right now, they're offering 10% off their YVC 200 portable speakerphone that connects to your phone or laptop and gives you the ability to take your office wherever you go. Head over to uc.yamaha.com/barstool to get a personal speakerphone for yourself, or with the upcoming holidays, grab one for those on the go or remote workers in your life.
What a deal.
What a deal. What a deal. So, Liam, actually, Carl, I do want to say this. He sent me, and this is why I was like, okay, we got to get this guy in. Liam, you sent me a video of him in the wild with these cassowaries.
It's wild.
Yeah, so that was actually an interaction. My friend Lydia got on video. So we spent 10 days in the rainforest. Basically every day we were just jumping around, hitting different spots in the rainforest. And we were on this one day in this place called Mission Beach on this high peak. And these girls these cassowaries use the paths that humans tend to use, because rather than going through all the underbrush, there's already this path made for them. So this guy was just going along, minding his own business, and came around the girls. So basically, it was pretty, like, once our academic director found out about it, it was pretty dicey, because cassowaries are known to be pretty aggressive. So when they came across it, yeah, what's up?
So I can post this video, right? This is like this is something we could get out there, because like this is like close calls we're talking. So were they like nervous? What did they tell you about filming the video?
Yeah, so the girl Leia who filmed it, so she honestly, she didn't really do a good job of handling the situation. As the camera pans, you can see like 3 or 4 girls up in a tree. So generally, when you come across a cassowary, you should put something between yourself, or ideally get up in a tree. But because typically when you see a big animal or something like that could really mess you up, normally what you're supposed to do is get big and everything. But with cassowaries, if you put your arms up, get big or anything, one swipe of that talon and it's just going to completely eviscerate your insides. So with the cassowary, you just kind of got to put something between yourself.
Like a rake or something. Like I see some guys on YouTube, they like to use rakes, or like a pole. Or do you mean more like a barrier, like a lawn chair, or like what do you use to get?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, anything you got, but when you're out in the forest, you really don't have anything like that. So generally, just try to get behind a tree or something.
So I talked about how afraid of this I am. Is it warranted for me to be this scared? Because when I initially told Carl and I told DC, I was like, this thing is terrifying. And people, they're like, what? Why are you afraid of this bird? Like, do I have reasons to be scared of this thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's no joke. We got a handful of lectures about them. But the thing about cassowaries is, so like I said, we spent 10 days in the rainforest. We only saw one, and it was a small group of us, a small group of the girls that saw it.
Oh, so they're not just running wild like I thought they were. Huh?
No.
Okay.
No. There's less than 2,000 left in mainland Australia now.
I mean, I'm thinking I can't. Why you think I'm thinking I can't leave the grocery store and be walking in the parking lot in my car? I mean, people make it sound like cassowaries are literally coming out of every corner to attack you.
No, not at all.
Oh.
No, they're not doing too well.
They're endangered, are you telling me?
Yeah, quite endangered.
Is it worth? Should we look into a campaign? Now, like, what if we spin this positively? We should raise cassowary awareness. Cass awareness.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do these things do that are good, though? Why should we be campaigning for them, Carl?
Yeah. All right. So cassowaries, so they're frugivores, so they just have a massive diet of fruit. They're massive animals, so they travel large distances each day. What they do is they eat tons of different fruit species, and the majority of these species rely on cassowaries to eat their seeds, digest the fruit, and then, walk 5 miles down the forest and poop it out somewhere else, so their seeds are getting spread out throughout the forest. And when the cassowary is not doing that, these plants are kind of restricted to a small area. So
wow,
many plant species rely on them to, disperse their seeds.
It's vital to the ecosystem, Ed.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I mean, very vital. So
wow. So we also wanted to get into more kind of Australian. Like, were you terrified when you originally went in there? So you're from Manhattan. Were you terrified going over there? That you're like, holy shit! Like, you hear so many bad things about these creatures in Australia. Not even just cassowaries, like the spiders and shit.
Yeah, the spiders. It was never a big issue for me. A couple of times on the rainforest trip, people would wake up and there'd be a big spider on their ceiling, or there'd be one in the shower. But typically the ones that we were coming across were just they're pretty massive, but they're pretty harmless. But a lot of what you hear about Australia is the 7 deadliest snakes in the world. But the thing with snakes is you're either gonna see them or you don't. It's like you either have an eye for seeing snakes or you don't. And I saw one water snake while I've been in Australia, and that's it. And I'm spending almost every day out in the field doing something.
So is it out of sight, out of mind, or does that make you more nervous?
Yeah, for me, it's out of sight, out of mind. Okay. I could really give a shit.
But you only seen one, so does that mean you don't have the eye for it, or what does that mean? Like,
yeah, that could mean that.
I think it definitely means that.
Yeah.
I don't think it could mean that. If you see one snake in Australia, you don't have an eye for it. You're in trouble.
What about the kangaroos? Are we seeing those fuckers hopping around all over the place?
Yeah. Typically, I see a lot more wallabies, especially in urban areas. Just like a smaller version.
Rocco's
but we did a 5-day trip out in the outback, and we saw a bunch of kangaroos. Some pretty jacked ones too.
Has your opinion on Outback Steakhouse changed?
No, I haven't been.
Do they have them in Australia?
Not that I know of. I haven't seen any. It would make sense though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think that they would have them though.
But if they did,
no.
Yeah, that's interesting. So wallabies, you're only seeing, are those pretty aggressive or no?
No, totally harmless. Like I'm doing research on a university right now, doing drone research on stingrays, and I was walking with my buddy, and a wallaby just like slinks out from under one of the dorms, looking like a cat, almost like crawling on all fours. Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. Roadkill everywhere, all over the place.
So you're doing work on stingrays. Is it any tie to Steve Irwin and his stingray death, or like what's the connection with stingrays in Australia?
Stingrays, yeah. I mean, we did another 10-day trip on the Reef, and I saw a couple different species. The thing with stingrays is they're not really venomous or poisonous. They're more like with Steve Irwin. The thing is he just got stabbed directly in the heart or near the heart with the stinger. It's not really the venom that got him. It was just the getting stabbed in the heart. So that's sort of a common misconception about stingrays. Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Stingray. So I mean, stingrays pretty much you're okay unless you get stabbed in the heart. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some venom associated with them, but it's nothing like a snake where if you just get bit in the foot, you're dead.
Would you rather do 10 days in the rainforest or 10 days on the barrier reef?
It's tough.
That's why I asked.
For me personally, it's the reef. Reef was unbelievable.
So is the reef gonna die or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly trending towards that. We were on Lizard Island, which is off the coast of northeast Australia.
Yeah, I know Lizard Island.
It's world renowned. Yeah. So recently, it got battered by a cyclone 2 years in a row. It had this massive bleaching event in 2016, coral bleaching, if you're familiar with that process. In the 3 years since, there's been a lot of recovery. But, there's also areas of the reef that were just completely devastated still years after. So I mean, it's just a matter of fact of having, a couple spells of years where there's just no disturbance events where the coral can, recruit more larvae and grow back to a substantial size. But
I actually watched a documentary on it too. It's something like the mining and like the coal mining is kind of hurting it. Is that right?
Yeah. Coal mining industry is huge here, so that just produces a bunch of CO2.
Damn. So, and you also wanted to get to the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah.
Have you spotted one? Those things went extinct, right? Can you go into that a little?
No. Yes, I haven't. No, I mean, I wish I had spotted one, but every year there's these sightings that will pop up. The Tasmanian tiger is just this crazy-looking creature. It's got this long snout. It's got a jaw that almost opens up like a snake, like 180 degrees. But so they went extinct in the 1930s. But since then, every year there's these sightings that pop up in Tasmania or in mainland Australia. There's been efforts by like world-renowned biologists that go out, do these expeditions to try and find them. So far, there hasn't been any concrete evidence recovered, but I did a big research project on it for one of my papers while I've been here, and I'm pretty confident that it's still alive. If you do some reading up on it, it's pretty interesting.
Now
and there's this yeah, go on.
Well, I was going to ask, the tiger is because of the stripes, right? It's not because it's of the feline subspecies. It's
no.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a marsupial, which is the craziest part. So, like a kangaroo, it has a pouch. So it's like a vicious predator, but it also has a friggin' pouch on its stomach.
So it could be okay. Wow, this is really.
Yeah, so it's basically just an example of convergent evolution where Australia, rather than having wolves or hyenas or anything like that, cats, that's what that was seen. But like 4,000 years ago, ancient Australians, not sure if it was Aboriginal people or seafarers, introduced what they call the dingo, and that kind of just wiped out many thylacines on mainland Australia.
Wow, and you're pretty confident.
As an introduced competitor.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence out there. And I mean, there's this guy in Queensland. I was listening to a podcast about it. He's a biologist by degree and all that. He's like, yeah, I saw 4 of them out in the. This isn't just some random guy. Now,
the Barrier Reef, obviously, you're studying out there. So you are in the water a lot, or what? Are you just kind of studying from land, or how does it work?
No. So we studied with a PhD, with a woman with her PhD, and so every day she would take us out twice a day for about an hour and a half to 2 hours snorkeling, and so we're doing like 3 to 4 hours each day in the water.
So what's the shark situation like?
I saw sharks almost every day, but they're typically just smaller reef sharks. Mm-hmm. On our second to last day, we did see a big, like 6 or 7 foot nurse shark, which isn't like your traditional shark where it's got the mouth full of teeth. It's kind of got a flat face, and they can still rip your arm off if you got it in there because they're sharks. But our advisor said that they had seen big hammerheads a couple years prior, but yeah, we just saw your reef sharks, black-tip reef sharks, that sort of thing.
Let me ask you a question. Say Eddie and I we're on a scuba diving trip. You are on the boat with us. Eddie and I are about to jump in the water. What's the 1 or 2 key pieces of advice you're going to make sure that you get across to us about the Great Barrier Reef or interacting with Australian marine life?
First thing you got to do is have a stinger suit on, especially right now. These little, box jellyfish are always an issue, but those are big and you can see them. There are these jellyfish called irukandji, which are pretty small.
How
hard
small
to pick up with just your eyes. A couple inches. And they'll just, you get stung by one of those and you're in big trouble, especially when you're on an island.
Why? What would happen if you got stung?
It's not instant death, but you gotta get to the hospital pretty soon.
Holy shit!
Yeah, not instant death, but it sounds like death is
pretty imminent.
I was gonna use the word.
Death
imminent.
is definitely in the equation.
Wow.
Not within a couple hours, but I think.
Wow.
Who knows? Maybe in a couple hours. There was an example of a student who got stung a couple years prior, but luckily everything worked out.
Liam, thank you for joining us. I also do have to note, I didn't even give you some credit here at the beginning. It is 2:00 in the morning right now, right?
Yeah.
So are you just fucking dead tired? Like, did you wake up? We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. So I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to do a hike. So I was already pretty tired, so I fell asleep at like 10. Woke up 20 minutes ago, ready to go.
There you go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hopping on. Is there
safe travels out there, man.
Is there anything else you didn't get to that you wanted to get to?
No, man, that's everything. Great conversation with you guys.
Awesome, Liam. Thank you, man. We appreciate you joining us and waking up so early. All right, everybody. That's it for today. We will catch you tomorrow.